Welcome beloveds, welcome back to my channel. In today's session, I'll be teaching you about one of the important thinking errors. And this is also the third agreement as given in the book, the 4 agreements that we are studying. It's don't make assumptions. So in today's session, I want to teach you about this thinking error completely from a psychotherapist point of view because it's really important and also the common one. We do make lot of assumptions all the time, which could be positive or negative in nature. We just make assumptions about what other people are thinking and feeling about us, and we are so convinced about what they are thinking and feeling about us that we never check with them, and that we overlook all the facts or evidence that could be there. So we are just living in that assumptions. We are living in our own minds and in our own faulty thinking patterns and in that deceptive reality until that reality is hit very badly by disappointment and expectation, and this could result in lot of conflict, inner conflict as well as outer conflict. So don't make assumptions. Now this thinking error is coming to this error called jumping to conclusion. What happens here is that we automatically assume something without checking with the facts. We automatically assume something that isn't warranted by the facts. That is jumping to conclusion. So suppose a person is not invited to a party. The person belongs to the same group of friends, but let's say person A is not only invited for the party and other 6 people are invited, and the person thinks that this person just doesn't like me, or this person really hates me, therefore he has not invited me to the party. Now before the party, if this assumption is made and this thing is there, then it is called jumping to conclusion without checking with the facts or without checking with the other person about this thing. The person is just automatically assuming that this is what it is, and so it's a problem. We see in relationships also, in relationship with other people, we just assume that the person who loves me should know what I like, should know what I don't like, and we just assume that they just read our minds and understand by themselves that this is what I am expecting, this is what I want from them, and so it results in conflicts or misunderstandings, and at least there is no open proper conversation with the partner because each partner is living in their own heads, right? Also as a parent, we could have lot of assumptions about our children, that this is what they want like from us, that this is what they are looking for, and we also assume in our own humanness, I would say, that this is what they are expecting from me, this kind of love, this kind of friendship, this kind of a bond or relationship they are expecting from me, so I should be like this or the other should be like this. And in if you see in every nature of relationship, be it with ourselves or with other people, be it with the work or in dealing with the present situation or any upcoming situation, we are just making assumptions about what it is actually like without checking the facts. So that is jumping to conclusion. It is an assumption because we have just directly jumped into the conclusion without checking the facts. Now there are 2 other sides to this error. First is mind reading and second is fortune telling. So what is mind reading? We are assuming without convincing evidence that other people think negative about us. We just assume that this person thinks negative about me or this person doesn't like me. It is mind reading. Okay, suppose you are making a presentation, very important presentation, and you are presenting it to an audience. You might assume that the audience don't like it. okay, or they will not like it, or the presentation will not turn out to be that effective or meaningful. This is mind reading. You are assuming in your own mind what other people could think about you or are thinking about you. Okay. um, and the other side of it, and the other one I said, which is fortune telling, we predict without convincing evidence that things will turn out badly. So fortune telling, no, if you can just imagine a crystal ball, okay, any color of crystal ball, and you just assume that okay, इसमें से क्या future निकलेगा, क्या भविष्य निकलेगा, and you are just convinced, means your prediction, you are convinced that what you are predicting is negative only in nature, that things will turn out badly only. That is fortune telling. So you are assuming what the fortune, meaning what the future will be like, and you are convinced that it is negative. So in case of mind reading, let us take an example of a depressed client who has gone through a very disturbing situation, let's say, and just assume that now people doesn't like me, I am not lovable and accepted, I'm not good enough, I can't do things rightly, and people are really disappointed with me. This is mind reading, because the person is just assuming maybe any disturbing, let's say the person has made some mistake and is just assuming that this is what the other people are thinking, and it's on that side only, without checking with them that what it is. Now maybe maybe people could think some things about you, but it's not going to be always, and you, even if they think or they not think, that is not the problem here. The thing is that what you are thinking, what assumptions you are making, and then how staying in that distorted perception of yours, you are further directing and creating experiences for yourself and your experiences with other people. Then for fortune telling, let us take an example of an anxious client who thinks that things will always turn out badly. So let's take a student who is really scared of exam and just thinks that things just doesn't work with, things just never work with me. They are going to be worst only. Means I'm sure I will fail. This is fortune telling. So in either like cases, you see, in mind reading we are assuming, we are convinced that other person thinks and feels negative about us. In fortune telling, we are making this convinced prediction that things will turn out bad, that they will be worst. That's the case. Now how to challenge these assumptions? First is inquiry. This is very important technique. What happens in inquiry is that you directly ask the other person about their thoughts and feelings. Instead of just playing this thing in your own mind and fantasizing what not and creating all sort of distorted, deceptive realities and stories and narrations in your own mind, wait a moment. This is what I am thinking. Let me check with the other person. That so you you ask very kind, gentle, non-directive type of questions to them. That when you said this or when this happened, I thought or I felt this way. Can you tell me what is your perspective on this? This is inquiry. You directly ask the other person what he or she is thinking about you. The second technique is using I feel statements instead of you. You is also like pointing and blaming, in other words. So when you say I feel statements, you are taking the responsibility for your own inner experience, which is coming from your own thoughts and images and feelings, or in response to the situation or person concerned. But when you say when this happened, I feel so and so. Can you tell me what is your experience about it, or what is your perspective? That will be really helpful to me, or helpful for me to understand. So you take the responsibility for your thoughts and feelings, so you use I feel statements instead of using when you did this thing, when you said that this thing, means just pointing you. So you is there, but you are taking responsibility for I feel. And there is no blaming here. If you see, you don't think that it's because of what other person said and did, so you are feeling. Okay, you are taking responsibility for your own thoughts and feelings. So it's very, very important. And this inquiry and I feel statements are very, very important in the sense that firstly you are challenging your own assumptions, and it improves your relationship as well, because you are not inviting any conflicts. Otherwise, if you are just making assumptions and then getting disappointed and then reacting and projecting onto other person, and again there is no scope for clarification, no proper communication or conversation, then it ends in conflict. Okay, the third technique is look for the evidence. What are the facts for what I am assuming? What are the facts for it? What are the other evidences for it? This way you will be able to challenge. And I would say that this also involves lot of self introspection. So you know, there are certain situations and people in which we are likely to feel more triggered, like as in you could make a number of assumptions, you must have some in your mind. So for you can just note down those situations, those triggers, and next to it write down all your assumptions, your thoughts that you have, and then check and challenge them using inquiry, I feel, or what are the evidence for it. This will be helpful to you. Okay. And again, when you are communicating and checking with the other person, focus on the present moment and the present experience. Don't bring out on the past things, why I am asking you. Don't see, check with your ego mind. So this is a good example. Don't start your conversations while you are challenging your assumptions with the other person, like, I'm asking you this thing, or I have to ask you this thing because in the past you said this thing or you did this thing, so that's why I'm asking. Otherwise I'm completely fine. I just don't have any problem and it's all okay. That's your ego mind, and I don't think it's a helpful attitude. That's your choice. But I would say that stay in the present moment, stay in the present experience, and focus on the assumptions that you are making, because whatever you are thinking and feeling and experiencing, that is creating the reality for you, that is creating an experience for you. So let's just take the responsibility for ourselves and for our own inner and outer environment. So don't make assumptions, work on this, and I hope this session and these techniques will help you. So do the work and share your feedback with me. Thank you so much.